Don't forget to check out the Emerald Gore Society's Gorecast for your weekly fill of horror movies, news, game reviews, and short films.
On air. Hey, so I know we're putting out a little video on a Friday, which is very unusual for the Gorecast. It's because, as you saw last week, I put up a very mysterious picture with a not so mysterious script about what we might have a guest coming, and you can see my guest over on the right here with me, because this Sunday myself and Giz are going to be doing a Friday the 13th special on the Gorecast, and as our special guest to do the Friday the 13th special on the Gorecast, no one better than the very first Mr. Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise, none other than the number one man, my main man, Ari Lehman.
Johnny!
How are you, my friend?
Is it yourself,
Johnny? It is myself over here now, Ari.
Man, I miss Dublin. I'm here in Chicago, which is a great town, and we have a good time. But
I can imagine so.
Dublin and Ireland and all the wonderful horror fans out there. Emerald Gore Society, yeah.
Check it out. So, as a little bit of promo for the show, we thought, because I've been going through, and I don't think this has ever happened before on the internet, that I'm going to sit down and watch a little bit of Friday the 13th with Jason from Friday the 13th. So,
yes.
I figured the best thing to do, Ari, would probably be maybe we'll just jump straight to your iconic scene. As you pointed out, one of the reasons we're bringing Ari on the show this Sunday is because Screenvention was on last year, and we had Ari, and we had Kane Hodder, and we had Tony Todd, we had Jessica Cameron, and we had Heather Dorff, and we had Simon Bamford.
And I learned about the Dolaker.
Oh, you learned about the Dolaker. You learned about
the Dolaker.
You learned about the very special firewater that my co-host, who ordinarily would be here with me, has, and the dangers of the Irish firewater.
Wonderful things in Dublin, but the ghost stories there, and I got to go to Trinity College and so many things, and that was a superb event. Outrageous.
Many people have tried to get to Trinity College, and many people have failed. But you got there, buddy.
You know what we were saying. You know, you look at this technology that we're using right here. This is so spectacular. And when we made Friday the 13th. Back in 1852,
back when Columbus was my cameraman.
In 1979, we never would have thought, wow, we could be talking to somebody in Dublin on our phone and watching a movie together with them. I mean, it's just beyond belief. I mean, and I think maybe, that's one of the great things about Friday the 13th is that they really did make the most out of what they had in front of them. And Savini always says it's those limitations that kind of push the envelope.
It's as myself and Giz actually use that as a reference point. Myself and Giz are two massive wrestling fans, and we always use as a reference point how ECW, when they were trying to compete with WWE, they were like, I don't have McMahon money. I don't have the wrestlers that they have. So he's like, instead of trying to do what they're doing on a budget that we can't do it, why don't we play to our strengths and give the people... and that's what the Friday the 13th series was always about. They played to the strengths.
Wrestling comes right out of the same era.
Yeah.
When you think about it, too. And making the most of out of props and costumes. And, gosh, I just got to hang out with the great Jim Duggan. Do you know what I'm talking about? Jim Duggan?
Yeah.
And I met Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and I met some of these wild characters, and they really are creative, and it's about performance and just being real and wow and having fun with it. I think that Friday the 13th benefited immensely from the presence of Betsy Palmer, who, when her way of having fun was by being brilliant all the time.
And it's not a bad problem to have, really, when it comes to having fun. Okay, so I think we'll throw the movie on. So if I have a very aptly named movie here, and we'll just hit play. And we'll turn the volume down a little bit. So
Where are we in this fine story?
we are. The police car has just arrived, and the lovely young heroine who has survived the ordeal is floating on a boat through the river.
See, now isn't that, it's like
on a lake? Sorry, not in the river.
It's a great reference. It's like in Hamlet when Fortinbras comes at the end. You know, you think it's all over. Here's Fortinbras with the Norwegian army. Everything's gonna be fine. You know, it's like such a perfect.
We have the lovely drawing in shot now to her sitting on the boat.
Yeah,
she's finally seeing the cops.
Moment. And the calm, the pastoral lake.
Oh, there you are.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, boat's gone down. She's Titanicing it.
You know, you did. It was perfectly, you know, misdirection, as they say. You know, the music of Harry Manfredini. Of course. You see, none of the adults on that set knew that I was going to jump out of the water with such ferocity.
Yeah, because actually, how did you come out of the water? So was there something you were able to kind of?
It was a little bit devious, you know. I was a little kid, and you know, Sean Cunningham and Tom Savini worked together with me very well.
Amazing
and
special effects artists.
My choices, and you see, I clearly felt that Jason had survived somehow, but they kept saying, no, this is a dream sequence. Alice is having a dream. And I said, no, you know, haven't you read like Swamp Thing or X-Men or something?
Yeah.
You know, it's like Aquaman, or, you know, he's some vengeance ghost who's rematerialized when the drop of his mother's blood reaches the water, etc., etc. Okay,
which actually,
so that's how I felt.
That does actually play into the whole Jason character, because as Jason progresses through the movies, he becomes a lot more nearly magical in certain aspects. Do you know what I mean? Like, he keeps coming back from the dead.
Yeah. There's definitely a supernatural component there. There must be.
And what I like,
he's regenerating.
The way the dream sequence plays into that then as well, I always thought, was the fact that she never really saw Jason as a child. Do you know what I mean? So it was a very on point dream sequence, if you get what I mean. And I think that also kind of lends to the kind of the magical mythos behind Jason as a character himself.
Yeah. And you know what? It's echoed in the filmmaking, because Sean Cunningham, in his brilliance of subtlety and appealing to, or just saying, he was very good at working with kids. And he said to me, Ari, you're not going to be able to hear me say action when you're underwater. It's a very crucial factor. How's Ari going to hear me say action?
Yeah.
He's going to go underwater. Okay.
Yeah. So you just need to when you need to come up, you come up.
So he says, you're the director, Ari. When those bubbles clear, jump out of the water and grab her. And I was like, I'm the director? You know?
Every 10-year-old's dream.
Yes. So I went in there and I was like, I'm the director. And you know what? I was looking away from dear Adrian. I was instructed not to let her see the mask in any way. So this was all cleverly set up so that when I did, coming to the conclusion, underwater, I'm going to come out of the water all gangbusters. I'm going to come out like, I'm going to forget it, man. She's every, you know, snobby kid at school who was mean to the kid in the back of the class. And I'm that kid in the back of the class. Here I come. And I grabbed the side of the boat. It was like kung fu. I didn't know what was going on. I was Bruce Lee. And I grabbed her throat, and she was not having it the first take.
Oh, really?
She was not having it. She pushed me off, She was like, what? She fell out. She fell out of the front of the boat. She was shocked. I
Unbelievable.
mean, nobody was ready for that. Nobody was ready for that. So then they said, okay. Take two. So what you see is a composite of take 1 and 2.
It's
take one.
It's the jump and the grab from take 1 with the pull down from take 2
at the distance, kind of just going through the motion. I come up out of the water, and then and you see her face. She has that look of actual shock because she's in actual shock.
Yeah, well, she never knew she was
Bravo, Sean Cunningham. In retrospect, he was able to say, Ari, what did you do to poor Adrian? Why did you come out of the... I didn't tell you to do that. He didn't. He had not told me. He knew I would.
I'd actually done I'd done a little bit of research, and I'd seen that Betsy Palmer had also terribly upset Adrian on set when they were rehearsing their fight scene.
Well, that could be a part of it. Why they didn't want to further? Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
yes.
it
puts it all in context.
In Betsy's defense, as she said, she was like, "I come from a theater background where if you're slapping someone in theater, you slap them. Do you know what I mean?" And then it was she slapped Adrian. Adrian didn't know what was going on.
Well, no, yeah, and that was even in practice. Yeah, there was a lot of tensions going on, of course, and I think that back in those days, certainly in theater, that was one way that you kind of got it out, and all those things, and building up to that final scene on the beach. I mean, that was tough on the two of them. It was cold.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned earlier, again, this wasn't a luxurious place where nowadays even the lower budget movies have those trailers with everything in them. And there was no trailers.
People were actually camping out on Camp Crystal Lake.
Betsy I'm in love with Betsy Palmer forever and ever. She played my mother. She shares the same birth date as my mother, November 1st.
Oh, no way.
We're dear friends forever. I still talk to her, if you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
That goes on forever. But I think we have to see that Adrian was the trooper on this film because she stayed in that cabin for weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, Betsy lived not too far away and went home.
Oh, that's handy. Well, Betsy had no car at the time, if I remember correctly. That's how she got into it.
Yes, Betsy Palmer. Well, yes, she had a car. The one that she liked to drive had broken down the day the agent called her. So that explains her
She had a very...
that day. She was stuck out on the highway. It was one of those terrible days, and she just got home, and she said, "Oh, well, if you could get me a new car." In all fairness, we've all been there.
Oh man, we've all had to do work to get stuff paid for.
I'm sorry?
I said we've all had to do a bit of work to get stuff paid for.
Oh yeah, but in a way, thank goodness it happened, because if that car hadn't broken down,
it could be because she is Mrs. Voorhees. Period.
Well, without Betsy's performance, it lent such gravitas to the whole thing. I mean, a monster ain't a monster unless somebody, says he is. It's always that person coming in from the cold. Oh my God, did you see what that monster did? That's what makes us scared of the monster.
Yeah, 100%.
And in this case, it goes even deeper because it gives us this wonderfully abstract reason. It's a mother.
Yeah, a vengeful mother.
That's all it takes, I'm sure there's some mothers in Ireland that you'd be like, you don't mess with an Irish mammy. You don't mess with an Irish mammy, period. That's it. Just like in Chicago. So, hey, there you go.
And on that note, guys, myself and the amazing Arya Lehman to my right over here, we're going to say goodbye. Make sure to tune into the Gorecast at 8 o'clock GMT, and you're looking at about 2 o'clock CST.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning to you. So from myself and Ari, we're going to say goodbye to you. Make sure to tune into the Gorecast. It's on the 5th of this month, this Sunday, with Ari. The interview that we were doing with Ari will be streaming live when we're talking to him, and then the full Gorecast episode with Ari in it will be out the following week. So everybody make sure to tune in. It's going to be a Friday the 13th special because it is in fact the Gorecast 13 episode, so no better way to rein it in. So from me, Johnny Deadly, and from Jason, otherwise known as
Thank you,
Harry
Johnny.
Lehman. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching a little bit of iconic movie horror history with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we'll get to do it again. And from
Jason
everybody
never
else out there
dies.
in Videoland, we'll see you all on Sunday. Gorecast out.